guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Well, what we're looking at here, guys, is just a plain Jane, actual, real, licensed Magpul MBUS polymer backup site. I paid about $40 for the site, and recently I was inspired by a video done by Matt over on Never Enough Ammo, where he bought a set of diamond head iron sights, well, imitation diamond head iron sights that virtually look just like the real thing that you'd pay over $200 for. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I can find something just like this, but not have to pay Magpul money, but get nearly the same quality or the same quality in general. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I don't ever condone you putting fake gear on real firearms that you're going to need to defend your life someday. But once in a while, it's kind of fun just as a gun owner or shooting enthusiast just to see what you can get out there for your buying dollar. So like I said, this is an actual, Magpul MBUS, polymer iron sight that I paid, $40 for. And so anyway, I was looking around, and lo and behold, on wish.com, I just happened to stumble upon these. Okay, these were $3.61 with 39 cents for shipping. So I paid a whopping $4 for a set of imitation MBUS iron sights. Now, I don't know how well these are going to hold zero. I don't know if they're going to fall apart or break at the range, but what I wanted to do was just do a basic comparison of the rear sight, and I can show off the front sight in a little bit. This imitation MBUS rear sight with an actual Magpul piece. Now I can just tell right now the plastic texture looks a little bit different, and we're going to mount this on my rifle here in a minute. But there's a lot of similarities between the two. Obviously, we don't have the texturing right here. You don't quite have the same ribbing on the sides that you do on the Magpul sight. You don't have the Magpul logo up here, but they do look very, very similar. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and mount this on the rifle first. I'll put it right in front of the actual MBUS sight, the real Magpul sight, and we'll kind of just take a little glance around to see how these compare. All right, so hang tight, guys. Okay, so just kind of taking a look at the imitation sight from the top, imitation on the bottom, Magpul on the top. I mean, their overall design and construction, it's virtually identical. I did notice that the screws on the right hand side, we have a hex nut right here. Let's get that in focus. There we go. And on the left side with the Magpul version, we have a regular screw. Now the Magpul version uses a bolt that has some threads on the end of it with some thread locking compound. And the imitation sight uses like a threaded screw all the way through. I also noticed that the little nut fell out of the imitation sight, whereas on the Magpul sight the nut stayed in place. Check out the height of those pieces right there. Seems like the imitation one has a little bit more rise to it than the Magpul sight, which stays locked down. Well, aperture knobs, or whatever you want to call it, your minute of angle knobs. Look about the same, feel. Okay, nice defined click with the Magpul version. Okay, these actually turn at the same time. Yeah, they also click. They click. But the whole piece flexes when you're turning that, which means it's going to be a little bit more flimsy, but when you we'll flip them up, we'll see what happens. Let's check this out on this side over here. All right. And so on the left-hand side here, guys, there we go. I've got a screw and a screw, but more of a little hex piece right there. All right. Again, similar style and design and contours, but again, the imitation piece bulges up a little bit. I don't know, you might say, well, instant pass for that matter. It's something I definitely don't want to mess around with. But for $4, it's definitely worth checking into. Springs are, this has kind of a matte finish spring, the Magpul version, and the imitation one has a shiny spring, although they're both black, coated black. Okay, flip up. Ooh, let's try that again. More of a metallic click, like something's actually locking into place with the Magpul version. This has a little bit weaker spring. I can tell a lot less pressure to move it down, but it does lock into place. A little more tension on the Magpul spring, whereas this one just flick it easily. Magpul, you have to kind of give it a little bit of torque. Rear, okay, I noticed that you also have some little hash marks here on the rear sight. Having some definite focus issues today, aren't we? Yes, we are. So you've got the hash marks on the back of the Magpul version so you can keep track of your clicks when you're sighting in, and there's nothing on the back of the imitation version. But you have the small peep sight and the large peep sight, so let's flick the Magpul version down here. A little hard to do this, guys, one-handed, I apologize. You got your larger peep sight on the rear. Okay, the imitation version. Very similar style. You know, I guess the one thing I would say is you could get a set for $4, and you know, if it holds 0, I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. But I think, you know, maybe if you're in actual combat or in some sort of a rugged situation, that the imitation versions might not hold up quite as well. They're functional. I know a lot of guys would buy something like this for airsoft, and I think it would be perfectly, you know, fine for that. The polymer, just kind of grab it and just, you know, it just kind of flexes and wiggles. Whereas the Magpul version, you can definitely tell there's much more rigidity in the piece itself. I mean, I'm pulling on it and it doesn't move, whereas this one, you know, I don't know, I guess if you need to get yourself into a set of iron sights on a budget for $4, you really can't go wrong. You know, if you don't have $40 sitting around to buy your parts, that's understandable. Oh, I noticed there's a lot less spring down here than what you have over on the Magpul side. So again, I'm just trying to show you, you know, I just want to save you $4 or $5 if you don't think it's something that you'll really want to go with. You know, just stick with the Magpul versions. Oh, that's interesting. These just slide. You know, there's really no defined end point or starting point. They just kind of go up. And then these, a lot more tension. There we go. Has much more of a click to it. You flick it up there, it's got some authority. So you're paying for what you get. I mean, my opinion, you're definitely getting a much higher quality piece when you go the Magpul route, but you're also paying 10 times more. So, you know, you kind of need to make the call on that. What I'm going to do is take both these sights off, and we'll just flip them over and look at the bottom and see if the construction is any different. I had no trouble mounting either one on this standard Picatinny rail. They both went right on. This is my Civilian Force Arm Xena Gen 1. All right, so let's go ahead and take them off, and we'll take a look at the bottoms. Now, if we take a look at the bottom, we can see there's some definite differences. Imitation Magpul on the right, Magpul on the left. I mean, they're almost the same mold all the way around. Dimensions are virtually identical. I am going to throw them on the scale real quick here, just so we can see if there's any difference in the weight. I've got a little IKEA scale up here that I'm going to use. We'll do the weight with the hardware. Okay, so you got that standard bolt that I was talking about with some thread locking on the end for the Magpul, and then just a regular screw on the end. Again, maybe these are just trivial little differences, but it's one of those things where, do you even want to spend the $5 and wait 8 weeks for these to show up, or 6 weeks for these to show up from China? Or do you just want to go to your local sporting goods store, your local gun shop, and pick up some real deal Holyfield Magpul sights? So, all right, yeah, there you go. I mean, they're about the same. All right, weight real quick. Okay, my scale's been zeroed. We are looking at approximately 2 ounces on my scale. All right, let's check the other ones out. Let me re-zero real quick. Okay, Magpul. A little over 2 ounces, 2.25, 2.5 ounces, so you get a little more polymer for the buck. I don't think you're really going to notice it though with the Magpul sight. So it's one of those things, again, if you don't really have the money, but you know, you've got a firearm and you need to put yourself an iron sight on it, then you definitely want to make sure that that you pick up something you can use, and this will be okay. If these don't fall apart and break and they survive a range trip and hold 0, I might just keep them on one of my ARs or put them on one of my other firearms just for the heck of it. Okay, so no problems there. All right, let's just real quick move over and take a look at that front sight, because those of you that have a Magpul flip up front iron sight or polymer sight, you're probably going to notice more of a difference than I will. I've never owned a front flip up sight, like I said before, from Magpul. I had a Midwest Industries actual iron sight or aluminum iron sight on the front of my DPMS Oracle back in the day, because I couldn't mount a polymer flip-up sight on it because of the low-profile gas block. But anyway, enough of my problems. So here's your imitation flip-up sight. And I do tell you to the left is going to move your... Oh my god, I can't believe I'm drawing a complete blank here. Not your reticle, but your stem, your stock, up or down, okay, depending on how you want to move your shots. See, there's some mold marks on here. You don't get that with the Magpul pieces. I mean, it's not bad. It's a thick polymer. It's not a bad construction. Just go ahead and click this up. Oh, wow, that was easy. Okay. There's a little decent amount of spring tension here, but you can see how rough the mold markings are on it. Move it down. Clicks right up. I mean, it works, you know, it works. Looks like we have your front sight here. Yeah, it's definitely polymer. It flexes really easy. That's definitely polymer front sight. So I don't know, guys. $4 for a set. I'm just gonna keep this around. If I got a family member that needs it, or if I happen to get a firearm that needs, you know, flip up front iron sight, I'll put this on there. So, you know, I mean, you know, for $4, you make the call. All right. So there we go, guys. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today, guys. This was just a checkup, just a little look at some imitation Magpul MBUS sights that I purchased from wish.com for about $4. And we just wanted to compare them to the Magpul sights to see kind of how they compare just visually. Okay, now we won't know about range performance until I actually take these out. But yeah, so I think we're in pretty good shape. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today, guys. Please like or subscribe. I've got a lot of videos out there for you to watch, and you can check me out over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can support me on patreon.com. It's patreon.com/TravisP11. We'll be bringing you a lot more videos. Also, I'm over on gunchannels.com. It's an awesome community that I want you all to join if you have not done so. Saturday mornings, we do a live podcast called Caliber Corner when we can. It's about 8 o'clock Central Time. There's episodes of that on my channel you can check out too. Go hit the playlist. Otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. So I want to thank you for joining me for this little video. And I do apologize if it was a little bit lengthier than I said it was going to be, but I wanted to see if there was really a difference because, you know, you don't want to waste your money on junk. You want to get something that you know you can rely on. You want to get something that you know that you can trust your life to if you need to. Okay, I would say these are acceptable for now, but without taking them to the range, I cannot recommend them just yet. If I take this sight to the range and it holds 0 after I sight it in, then I would be not opposed to maybe leaving it on one of my ARs, maybe not my go-to-war AR, but you know, one of the ARs that I own. So there you go, guys. All right, so thanks for joining me today, guys. I want you to have a great week. All right, have a great post 4th of July holiday. If you guys are on vacation, that's awesome. I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe, guys. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.